Hello, it's Tom Craven here with a quick tip on how to edit photos where the lighting just throws your white balance completely off, so the auto white balance doesn't really work. So I've got the photo here, I've already edited it, so I'm just going to turn on the different settings just so it's a lot quicker for you. So the white balance you'd adjust like that probably, it's getting there, but as you can see there's still too many purples there. It's just not a good kind of grading, I don't think anyway. So the next two things that most photographers would go for is the split toning and HSL sliders, going into there and having a play around. And that's why I was able to produce. But then I found one more thing that actually really improved a lot of my photos. And I've gone through some old photos to really dial it in. And it's this camera calibration down here. So I believe what it's supposed to be used for is so that you can calibrate your cameras so that they all look the same and they all have the same colours across each of them, because you might have a Canon, a Nikon, GoPro or whatever you have, and make them all look very similar. But if you go into there, you can see what options you've got. And I just had a play around. I was trying to actually solve a different issue I had, and I found that it really kind of helped with this. And now I don't think I've got this perfect, but it's so much better than it was. I'm going to just keep dialing and keep tweaking, I think, with these kind of photos, because I think it really helps. So as you can see, there's a big difference between that and then what the original was, if it eventually loads, there we go, of what it was before and after, and it just shows how different it can be. And I just think that's a massive improvement that a lot of people might have thrown the original image away and just not bothered even editing it because of how bad the lighting was. But it just shows what you can do in Lightroom. So next image I've got is of Janet Devlin. Again, the white balance, it's not awful. A lot of people might like that look. I personally don't. So I've edited it and gone for that. Still wasn't right. It's too orange in the face, but then I was struggling to get it really accurate where it wasn't too blue. So I was struggling. So I did HSL and split toning and the camera calibration, and there we go. I just think that improves it a lot. So you've got the white of the shirt, the correct look in the face, I believe, and then the right kind of hair and background. So I think that improves massively, really. And then lastly, I've got this photo from 4 years ago of kids in glass houses, and I really like this photo because it's very different to a lot of the photos I was taking at the time, in the sense of how it looks and the feel of it. But now looking at it, I'm like, it's not, I've never really liked the skin tones in it. So I've made another copy where I've gone through and done it again with HSL and split toning and camera calibration. It's all these things I've learned over the last few years, and I think this is just so much better now. So it's still got that kind of bluey purple vibe to it, but it's still got this skin tones in there, and I just really like this photo now, and it'll probably end up going back on my website. So that's just a quick way of being able to edit your photos so they look so much better, and you might now be able to save some photos where you went, that was a great moment I've captured, it's just a shame about the lighting. So have a play around with the camera calibration and see what results you can get from it, and let me know in the comments below, and if you've got any questions, go ahead and throw them down there as well.